clown. If you think about him, he's a clown. Like, I love the hip-hop culture. I'm in love with the hip-hop culture. Blood, sweat, and tears went in my movement for the hip-hop culture.
He popped off at me first saying my podcasting and business was 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
I told him I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't give a who he ratted on.
Right.
That ain't my business. The people he ratted on, handle your business. My homies ain't with him. I'm not telling him what y'all can and can't do, right? He's under my protection. Now, if you pull up on him and I'm there, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure I get home. I think dude respectfully is taken away from his aura of who he is, who people respect him to be.
J Prince just lit the whole internet on fire. He's not just accusing Wack 100 of snitching, he's calling him the mastermind behind why certain rappers walk free while others get buried in charges. If Wack's out here fixing legal messes before they even blow up, then who's really running the streets from the shadows? You gotta wonder, is Wack 100 out here protecting artists, or is he hiding something way darker? People been talking, the streets been noisy for a while now, rumors flying that Wack's been tied to the feds for years. Some even claim he gets the drop before the drama pops off online. Like, how does he? That sounds like serious connections behind the curtains. But J Prince didn't hold back at all. He flat out said Wack ain't just running his mouth, he's making certain rappers untouchable. That ain't small-time influence.
The original filing was like for like $1 million, $2 million, right? But for whatever reason, because the judge was feeling the way he was feeling, he bumped that shit up to like 5 million, 7 million. Right?
That's big moves. Just look at the first names that come up every time. The Game, 6999, Blueface, all three stay linked up with Wack. And all three, they dodge legal cases and street beef like it's child's play. How is that even possible unless someone's pulling strings behind the scenes? Let's really break it down with the Game. He's been hit with lawsuits, drama, and scandal after scandal that should have shut his whole career down. One lawsuit alone had him owing $7 million. Most artists would be done for. But the Game didn't even flinch. Why? One name, Wack. And Wack didn't just support him, he took over. The man owns his masters, got his name on the royalty checks. Wack didn't just manage the Game, he straight up took the wheel. Want to take the Game to court? You got to go through Wack first. Want to touch $1 from the Game's catalog? Wack's already holding it down tight.
He popped off at me first saying my podcasting and business was 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
I told him I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't give a fuck who he ratted on.
Right.
That ain't my business. The people he ratted on, handle your business. I'm not telling him what y'all can and can't do, right? He's under my protection. Now, if you pull up on him and I'm there, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure I get home safe.
And when folks said that $7 million judgment was over the top, Wack didn't act like a manager. He moved like a man defending his own empire. That's not just loyalty, that's real control. So here's the real question. Was Wack's so-called loyalty just a mask for straight-up leverage? Because by the looks of it, he ain't just managing artists. He's holding the remote to their whole survival. This man ain't guiding careers. He's controlling lifelines. Let's talk about 6999, the rainbow-haired dude the whole rap game turned into a punchline. After he folded in court and spilled every name he knew, the industry tossed him out like yesterday's trash. Labels dropped him. No OG wanted to be seen near him, and his name was basically poison. His career was done, until Wack swooped in like he was bargain hunting at the clearance rack. This man rebuilt 6ix9ine. That's not management. That's a straight-up resurrection. Wack didn't just help him, he flipped his image like the whole streets didn't already cancel him.
When you found out that Wack was working with 6ix9ine, what was your original reaction?
I don't even know how that happened, to be honest with you, but it was just like, like...
You're like, oh, okay, that's
like, okay, yeah, like, it was one of those, like, not like he's weird. It was more like,
No major label backing him, no street respect left, just Wack pushing him back into the light using media hype and what feels like serious protection. And through all of it, 6999 been moving around untouched in cities that should have had him laying low. And when J Prince called it out months ago, did Wack fall back? Not even close. He stood 10 toes down, said 6999 was his guy and he'd ride for him no matter what. That ain't just loyalty. That's a calculated move. Wack's playing chess, not checkers, like he knows exactly where the pressure points are. Now let's flip to Blueface. This dude stays trending for all the wrong reasons.
Represent where you come from and what's supporting you. So now I got to cut you.
Yeah, he biting the hand, huh?
So I'm not answering Birdman's call.
Fights, arrests, courtroom chaos. Viral clips flying every week. His life looks like a never-ending TMZ scroll. But here's the wild part. Every single time something wild happens, Wack's already on Clubhouse running his mouth before the footage even leaks. Before the charges drop, he's spinning the angle like he's reading from the court script. He ain't reacting, he's pre-spinning, like he's got a legal radar with VIP access. Blueface could be getting heat right now, and boom, Wack's already shifting the narrative, cooling things down before it even sparks. That's not just PR, that's a shield backed by inside info. And when folks found out Wack was tight with 69992, the whole street started side-eyeing him real different. Blueface didn't say a word. No outrage, no defense, just cold silence. Why? Maybe because he knows exactly who's keeping the wolves off his back. When someone's shielding you from full-blown chaos, it stops being about loyalty. It's straight-up survival mode.
After you got that message, after you got the message, you hit up Big U's wife. You said, "Sis, 911. One sec, let me get solo." And you gave him a heads up.
What I tell him?
You said, "One sec, let me get solo. He needs to leave. Bad." In caps, all caps. He needs to leave.
I said so bad, right?
Yeah, so bad.
That's when it stops being street drama and starts looking federal. And here's where things get crazier. There's been whispers that Wack had Birdman in his back pocket too. Back in 2018, Wack and Birdman linked up to launch Cash Money West under Universal, with a reported $20 million deal on the line. That wasn't some casual link-up. That was major money and serious power plays. They were ready to build a West Coast takeover, putting acts like Savi third in position to blow. But the whole partnership crashed out quick. That empire never got off the ground. Why? Because Wack couldn't stay quiet. He got on Clubhouse and started firing shots at Birdman's artist BG, right after BG got released from a 14-year sentence. Wack straight up called him a rat. No paperwork, no proof, nothing but loudmouth accusations flying all over the internet. And instead of keeping it behind closed doors, Wack claimed Birdman was calling his phone trying to talk it out in private. But what did Wack do? He aired it all out in public, clowning Birdman, ending whatever respect was left, and turning a $20 million business move into a personal beef. Even after BG's own cellmate vouched he never snitched, Wack stood on the accusation. No receipts, just volume. That one move blew the whole bridge to pieces, but it gets deeper. Word is Suge Knight, from behind bars, allegedly warned Birdman not to trust Wack way back before any of this even popped off. Said he moved shady and had his own hidden game.
If anything, it's alarming him because there's a good chance he probably didn't know that his DNA came back up under that boy's fingernails. So if y'all want to say Wack and 600 did anything, you can probably say we're alarmed.
And now, looking back, Suge might have been the only one seeing the full picture before anyone else did. Wack's got a pattern. Once you fall out with him, he turns on you fast. First he cuts ties, then your name gets dragged through every dark alley online. That's exactly what went down with Big U. They were tight for years. Then boom. Suddenly, Wack's tossing out wild accusations, RICO talk, bodies, legal pressure, real heavy stuff. And here's the craziest part. Word is, Wack allegedly texted Big U's wife right before Big U got picked up. The message? He told her straight up that Big U needs to leave. That ain't no casual message. That sounded like a straight-up warning from someone who knew what was about to go down. Yeah, things went all the way left. And not long after, Big U got hit with a whole federal case. So now everybody's asking the same question. Nobody's crazy for thinking he might be plugged in with the feds, because that timing is way too sharp to brush off. Then came the wildest part, the Rayshawn Williams case. This wasn't some regular street beef. We're talking about a high school football player who tragically lost his life under super shady circumstances. And out of nowhere, Wack jumps on Clubhouse and drops a bomb. He claimed that Big U's DNA was found under the kid's fingernails. Now hold up, that's not barbershop gossip, that's locked case info. Stuff like that doesn't just leak unless it's coming from someone real deep in the system or someone already inside. And here's where it gets spooky. 2 days after Wack said that, boom, the feds swooped in and arrested Big U. You telling me that's just a coincidence? Nah, that timing's too perfect. Now picture being Big U.
And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, it was asking about Wack. Wack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff.
A man you once sat down with, made moves with, suddenly jumps online, blasting your name and dropping insider details that tie you to something heavy? What kind of man does that? That ain't a fallout. That's betrayal on another level. And the twist? Right before Big U turned himself in on that RICO charge, he went live and called Wack 100 out by name, accused him straight up of working with the feds. No subliminals, just raw accusations right there in the open. Wack treats Clubhouse like it's his personal courtroom, just grabs the mic and starts throwing out snitch labels like he's passing out candy on Halloween. Gunna, BG, even folks who ain't got one official charge on their name, if they ain't with Wack, he's coming for their necks. It's like the moment you fall out with him, your name's in the dirt, your secrets hit the timeline, and the streets start looking at you sideways. Wack swore up and down that Gunna had a 2-hour interrogation video, said he was ready to leak it to the world, but guess what? It never dropped. No footage, no documents, just more loud talk with 0 receipts. That's his whole game plan. He does the same thing with BG and half the people he labels as snitches. No evidence, just straight noise. That's the tactic right there. Wack gets loud on purpose, starts throwing around that rat label to keep the spotlight off him. It's all misdirection. While folks are busy defending themselves, nobody's looking at Wack's own paperwork. But now let's talk wiretaps. Real federal court records allegedly had Wack's name popping up multiple times in a 2022 wiretap. Members of the Rollin 60s were on the phone talking about how they wanted to get at him, said he was a problem, that too many people had beef and wanted smoke. But here's the crazy part, nothing ever happens to him. No beatdowns, no charges, not even a legal slap on the wrist. And people have been asking for a while now. How is Wack always in the middle of the madness, yet his name never lands on official paperwork? Now look back even further, 2005. Wack and his brother got bagged in Texas for illegal firearms. Both of them were already convicted felons at the time. That should have been a wrap, but somehow, the whole thing disappeared into thin air. No media headlines, no public trial, no prison time. He got transferred from one federal spot to another, and then, boom, he walked out clean. No charges stuck.
I'm gonna give you some time. I don't know, 24 hours, 12 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 1 hour. I don't know. I'm gonna give you some time though, Gunna, for you to go ahead on and confess.
No explanation, just gone. That's when the whispers really started flying. Did Wack flip way back then? Is that the moment he made a quiet deal with the feds? Cause ever since that case vanished, Wack been moving way different. He popped back up in LA like nothing ever happened. Suddenly he's sitting at the table with Suge Knight and Death Row, leveling up quick with no pushback. Too smooth, too protected, too plugged in. And when you really step back and connect the dots, it starts to look real clear. Wack ain't just a manager, he's a fixer. Wack ain't just a manager, he's the go-between for the streets and the system. He's not out here just doing business, he's making sure his circle stays out of legal trouble before the storm even hits. The Game, 6999, Blueface, they don't just bounce back with Wack behind them. They barely ever feel the hit to begin with. Now J Prince is turning the heat all the way up, calling out Wack for allegedly protecting certain rappers through federal connections. And at this point, it ain't sounding like a wild theory anymore. It's looking more like a carefully crafted playbook. Just peep the roster. The Game? Wack been managing him for years, kept him from coughing up that $7 million lawsuit, and even claimed rights to his royalties and masters. That's not just backing your artist, that's straight up ownership. Then there's 6999. The industry threw him in the trash after he snitched. But who pulled him back out? Wack rebuilt his contracts, slid him gas money, put him on Clubhouse, and brought him back from the dead, like the streets never canceled him in the first place. Now take Blueface. This man's always in the headlines with court drama, but somehow, Wack's right there, flipping the script, spinning the media, and keeping the consequences light. He don't just manage Blueface, he shields him. These ain't just rapper friendships. They're investments. Wack protects his assets like a man with something big to lose, and maybe something even bigger to hide. Gunna, BG, Big U. As soon as they fall out with Wack, their names start getting dragged, charges pop up, or worse. Wack ain't just in the music game, he's moving like a chess master inside the system itself. Everybody that crosses Wack, they get tossed to the side real quick. But the Game, 6999, Blueface, they move like they're untouchable, like they got some invisible shield on them. If Wack sees value in you, you get protection. If you're no longer useful, he steps back and lets the wolves eat. No rescue, no defense, just silence while you burn. And best believe the internet's been on fire. One user didn't hold back. Rat100 is a professional storytelling snitch. Another said, you can see Wack's working with the feds. Man talks way too much. Folks are catching on and they're not buying the act anymore. So what's the real takeaway? Stay far away from the ones who always talk slick, move loud. Cause if Wack's really playing both sides, deciding who gets covered and who gets caught, then he's not just a manager. He's a power broker pulling strings from behind the curtain. And now that J Prince cracked the door wide open, the big question is, who else is hiding in Wack's shadows? Because when that next name drops, it won't just shake hip-hop, it might knock the whole building down. If you thought this one was wild, buckle up, it's only getting messier from here. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear the truth. We'll catch you on the next one, where the stories go deep and the facts cut even deeper.